tell me more about MAHLE and what opportunities do you have for the children in high schools?
Now, MAHLE is a multinational company in the automotive business. We are automotive supplier. So basically everything which has to do with automotive engine parts, thermodynamics, radiators, heat exchangers, electronic parts. So the job opportunities we can offer are very wide. It could be from engineering, it could be from electronics, software, basically everything in the field of engineering.
Wow, that is so wonderful. Earlier on I was looking at the posters and I saw that you guys have an awesome initiative for students who are interested in maths and science, and the way you guys are able to motivate students to study maths and science. So why should students go into maths and science? More especially the young girls.
Look, in my work experience, I always appreciated a lot working with female. Mm-hmm. In my teams, for example, in the management teams, the experience had always been better if you have a diverse and mixed team. Mm-hmm. And I think that especially the students are very smart, and in this modern world, it's not that science is only for males, or to develop something in an automotive car is only for males. It's quite mixed, and they have really, really great ideas. And my experience is always we had very successful ladies in our teams. Yeah.
Wonderful. And how does MAHLE encourage innovation, especially when it comes to the young students who have wonderful ideas? How can we as students encourage the younger ones to be innovative and create innovative ideas as well, to assist us in new creations as well?
Look, as I told you, I'm now 40 years in this business, and if I look back 30 years ago, a student came to the company, he was sitting on a table and was basically left alone. Today it's quite different. In MAHLE we have a lot of startups, or we have one of these possibilities to give your ideas, to create your ideas. So in these startups it's completely different. Mm-hmm. That's out of our standard organization. And I think that's more familiar for the students. It's not in these rigid organizations of big companies. They have the space to make their things, to create their ideas, to bring their innovations, and I think that's a strong thing in MAHLE now.
Wonderful, that's wonderfully said. And what advice would you give to students who come from rural settlements and underprivileged communities? What can you say to them? How can they stay positive? How can they stay motivated? And how can they find out more about MAHLE?
Yeah. Look, I had my own experience. I was not the best in my school time. There is a certain time you have your dream and you have your way you want to go. First of all, never give up. And like we heard in this nice presentation here, you need some supporters. So you have to look for your network, and that's what we are, for example, offering as company. If you have your dream and you are from an underprivileged family, let's say, I think there are opportunities like we at MAHLE or other companies or governments or whatever who help you.
Wow,
but you need a supporter. Yeah,
yes, that's true, very much. Support is incredibly important, especially for the young ones. Okay guys, we are back again. We are here with Jolene Furn, and she's also from MAHLE, and she's here to tell us more about herself as well as MAHLE as well.
Thanks for having me. So I'm from MAHLE and I studied communications, and so communications is my passion. But as an organization, we've identified that there's a critical need in the country to focus on your STEM skills, specifically for girls. So what we're hoping to do with this event is to target those girls to see and provide an opportunity so that they see what careers there are, and more importantly is to motivate them. And another thing is to understand what marks they need at school to assist them to get into universities. And it's about fun. STEM is interesting, it's exciting, and it's not a career that most girls go into. So it's our job as an organization to drive that change. And through this, we hope we do that.
Wonderfully said, ma'am. One of the things you touched on is when you said that science is fun. Students have this narrative that science is stress. It can be fun, it can be amazing, especially when it's time to create new ideas and to come up with new things to surprise the world. And there are so many students who when they think of maths and they think of science, they think that it's automatically it can beat them,
Yes.
and I think it's important that we always motivate students as well, and that's why I love what
100%.
MAHLE is doing. You guys are motivating students to go out there and choose science and to be brave.
Exactly. And I love the way that you said brave, because it is challenging for girls to stand up, have a voice in terms of it. I love science and I'm going to do it. So it's not an easy subject. Yes, math, science is not. But I think if you apply yourself, you're disciplined, you have fun, you have a passion for it, you are key to a great success.
Anything that you put your mind to,
Yes.
it's possible.
100%.
As a woman as well, I'm a radio presenter as well as a chemical analyst by profession.
Wow, that's amazing.
And,
So you should
I
know.
always encourage students, choose maths and science.
Yes.
Go into engineering, go into medicine.
100%.
The sky is the limit.
But I think girls feel limited. I think it's always go maths lit, and they don't realize that there are a lot of doors closed for maths lit. You've got to do core maths.
Yes.
Put yourself at the forefront, work hard, practice, and I promise you, your doors will open for you.
You'd find that some students after school that realize that the career fields are limited now.
Correct.
Because it's not really a vast growing maths is not really a vast growing career field for students to go into. These days, people want maths and science. Universities as well, even colleges as well, and TVET colleges want maths and science. And you find with the learner completed school, she realized it's something she really wants to do. She can't do it because she chose the wrong subjects.
Correct.
So I think that it's very important to educate students at a young age
Yes.
about subject choices, about career fields, and the many opportunities that are waiting for them, especially for the young girls.
That's exactly it. And another thing is learning confidence. I think you've got the subjects behind you, but you need to have a voice, and you've got to be a trailblazer because it's difficult, but you've got to be supporting yourself and have confidence. Without
And
a
as
doubt.
women, I think it's important that we support other women. Okay, guys, we are back with Mr. Mbongiseni Gumede from Casme. Hi, Mr. Mbongiseni. You're speaking to Kimberley Smith. I'm from Fly FM, Youth Taking You Places. Can you please tell me more about yourself and more about Casme?
Hi, good morning, and I'm pleased to be here with you, Kim. CASME stands for the Center for the Advancement of Science and Mathematics Education. We were established in 1985, so we will be turning 40 years next year, purely to support teachers of mathematics and physical science from grade 1 up to grade 12. Well, the reason we are here today is because of our partnership with MAHLE. In 2015, something very beautiful happened. MAHLE partnered with us to take laboratory equipments to schools. They sponsored our first van that allows us to take all science equipments to a school. Of course, we do make arrangements with the schools to do experiments for them. The reason we do that is because we know even today, government alone cannot be able to provide laboratories in schools, and as it was stated inside hall from various presenters, learners are deprived a right to perform experiments. So through the support of MAHLE in 2015, we have up to today been able to reach 550 schools, and we have staged 850 experiments in taking into the project over 2,000 teachers of South Africa.
Wow, sir. You know what you're telling me? Such an amazing initiative. It's the first that I've ever heard of. And I just want to say thank you to MAHLE for giving us and these children such a wonderful opportunity. Some students are not motivated enough because when it comes to maths and science, we don't have the laboratory equipment, to try these things. Science is meant to be fun.
Yes.
It's not always meant to be serious. And by bringing these laboratory equipment, you're teaching students skills.
Yes.
And you're enriching them and you're motivating them to go further within this. Some
Exactly.
students will only develop a love for something when they try it out physically. And this opportunity that MAHLE has given us is allowing them to do that.
Exactly, Kim. If learners see or do, the conceptual understanding deepens. They can relate better even if the experiment has come and gone with the concept, if they have done, touched, or even seen things happen. So this is really a wonderful opportunity that MAHLE has ever provided for South African learners.
Not only to touch on MAHLE, but also to give appreciation to Casme as well for for the support that you guys have been giving teachers for all these years, almost 40 years
Indeed,
of
Kim.
being and leading in the maths and the science world, in reaching children and also in reaching teachers, because the teachers are motivated to teach these subjects.
Exactly.
Because they have the support that you guys have given them. And it's such a wonderful initiative. And I also would like to ask you, how can more teachers get involved in CASME?
They can access our online courses, which are free to teachers. They just need to register for record purposes and also for us to analyze impact. So it's absolutely free. They can go to www.casme.org.za and then go to Teach Me. They teach science and they can enroll themselves for free.
Wow,
That is one way they can. Otherwise, they are brought on board to CASME by specific funders that come on board and donate their funds for us to perform experiments and even stage workshops for those teachers.
Wonderful. And can I ask, should a sponsor love to sponsor CASME and also would like to introduce a new initiative like how MAHLE has done as well?
Yes.
How can they locate CASME and how can they assist? What is CASME short of in terms of resources in order to reach out more kids out there?
We would really appreciate that because we need to scale this impact. Currently, we are impacting, but at a very small scale. We need to reach more learners to be able to also be able to compete globally with other peers that do practicals at their schools. So if there are funders that are willing to partner with us, they can send us email at info@casme.org.za. My personal email address as well is my surname, gumede@casme.org.za. And they can also go to social media platforms. We are on X, we are on Facebook, we are LinkedIn, we are also in Instagram.
So can you please give me more information on the engineering fields that we have as well, and how does MAHLE influence students to study engineering?
That's perfect. I'm so excited to inspire our next generation of engineers. So engineering is really quite strong on the mathematics side. So you really have to have a passion for mathematics. But there's also the science application. And like you said, engineering is so diverse. There's so many disciplines. I myself have studied industrial engineering. Industrial engineering is basically a combination of some of your key fundamental engineering practices. And what an industrial engineer does is go into processes and optimize it. So we want to save time, save money, get the best product quality out there, but also ensuring we meet our customers' needs. And that's just one example. There's electrical and electronic engineering, and someone in the audience actually spoke about their passion for biomedical engineering, where we start to use engineering tools and techniques to help change people's lives. Someone that couldn't hear before is now able to hear thanks to the invention of a biomedical engineer, or someone that couldn't walk before is now able to move around thanks to these inventions. And so it's about taking the fundamental practices of maths and science and merging that with your imagination. And then you come up with amazing inventions. And we've seen young people have startups and different ideas, just leveraging technology to solve everyday problems in unique ways.
It's so amazing. Engineering is such an amazing career field. You know, after hearing you speak about engineering and the innovative ways to create and to assist people with in their daily lives, especially people with disabilities, I think that's amazing. And I couldn't be more proud that a woman is behind it. You know, we need more women to occupy leadership roles, and I always say this as well. And we need more students to choose science, because right now we're battling with an issue. Students are not choosing science.
Yeah.
As the owner of my own tuition school, I have seen that the majority of students who choose Maths Lit overpower the ones who are doing science. And now teachers are even now influencing kids to choose Maths Lit because it's the easier option, because people are afraid of a challenge. And that's why it's always good to encourage students to never be afraid to take up a challenge, always be brave, and anything in life that is worth having will not come easy. So how can we motivate the youth more to study and to choose maths and science?
You know, it's exactly through initiatives such as these where we get together and we actually showcase that mathematics is simply just practice. The more you practice, the better you get at it. And that's why we need also strong teachers to inspire our kids to practice more with mathematics, and that it's actually not difficult. It's just applying yourself differently and also coming across different examples and wanting to learn and grow. So I really think initiatives such as this, initiatives such as the STEM Mentor program that was shared earlier, is really key, because students actually get to follow a day in the life of an engineer, a scientist, a doctor, anyone in the STEM field. And they get to understand the real field, that most of the times what you study in university is different in the application world. But what's the core fundamentals that you do study is what carries you through the day-to-day. Solving problems that are complex. And I can tell you, in my world of supply chain and moving parts and getting things from different parts of the world and making sure you deliver to your customer on time can be so complex and overwhelming. But when you start to break it down and you fall back on your mathematics and STEM education, you start to realize that these practices and these fundamentals that you've been taught is actually helping you to solve everyday problems. It's logical thinking, it's working with people. I think there's also a misconception that engineers don't work with people. You work with people on a daily basis. You have to sell your story. You've got to get the buy-in from different stakeholders, and it all eventually comes together to solve the problem.
Miss Shavara, I don't know if I can call you Dr. Shavara.
Sure, if you wish.
Dr. Shavara, astrophysics, the first time I heard about astrophysics, I was in matric. And I heard it from somebody who I sat next to who wanted to become an astrophysicist. So can you please tell me more about it and what is that? Because when I think about it, I just think physics straight.
Yeah, and I suppose that's not like the best feeling, I feel like, the general consensus about maths and physics is maybe doesn't have the best rep out there, but it really does so many practical things. And I guess in astrophysics, you could be interested in a few things. For example, you could be interested in more theory space, which is where I am in. If you ask me as a one-liner, just like quick, what I like to do or what I intend to do, it's finding solutions to Einstein's field equations, which describe how celestial bodies interact in the universe. So there's no complete theory of gravity that's out there, but that's the best one. And we study evolution of stars and galaxies. So that's what I do. But we have other telescope projects that fall more on the observation side. So you can have like a crossover even where a theorist could say something like, oh, we want to investigate black holes. And then, as you saw, that whole experiment that was formed, and in 2019 that picture came out of the black hole, and that was done by technological feats in observation. So there's really just so much to do, especially in STEM fields. The application to astrophysics itself is just diverse, and I love being in this field.
It's so wonderful to see a woman in the field of astrophysics. So I would like to ask you, why astrophysics, and why do you encourage students to pursue, most importantly, young women to pursue careers in astrophysics?
Yeah, I think it's just it's a very empowering field. On the front line of science. Nobel Prizes were given out to people who've helped in the discovery, whether in theory or in observation, of black holes, of gravitational waves. The research is current and it's a hot topic. It's happening right here in South Africa. People from all over the world want to come here to work on these projects, on these telescope projects. I think it's amazing to form that international network. And I know, like we were talking earlier, like physics and maths have that rep, but really they have the power. I like to use this analogy where mathematics and physics can help you study the land. So we have many different models on that. It can help you study the seas and the oceans. It can even take you to the sky, and then it can take you beyond. So a lot of times my presentations are entitled Gravity and Beyond, because there's just so many applications. And also the stuff that it asks for technology, to be able to conduct these experiments. You need more than a general computer, big data science. It all starts here. And the foundations are mathematics and physics. So I encourage all women out there, please take mathematics, take physics. It could be challenging, but challenges are also fun and interesting. It keeps you on your feet. And you want something. You want to be excited. Every day I come to work, I'm excited. And I call myself an explorer. you know, because every day I'm working on a new problem. I'm solving fundamental questions about the universe, and that's what makes me tick.
Wow. On the panel previously, I overheard you say you started with computer science. What was that like, transitioning from computer science to astrophysics?
So actually, I wanted to be in computer science. I wanted to do a lot of coding, and I found that there is actually a lot of coding in astrophysics, and coding in every facet of life. Really, I mean, essentially everything that we can see with our eyes can be described by models, mathematical models, and then those are encoded in computers, and then the outputs are shown for everyone to see. So I just think that I made that switch because I could see computer science being applied more fruitfully, I would say, in applied mathematics and in astrophysics in particular. So I didn't have to let go of one. I could have them both kind of selfishly, which is what I wanted to do.
So first question, how do you feel about the event for today?
All right, I am feeling good. I feel like I got to learn a lot of things from here that I didn't know, and also I have kind of developed in some aspects, and I got to learn a lot of things, a lot of information about going into different fields in STEM subjects. Yeah.
So it was useful, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so good. Do you think continuing with a career in technology and robotics is a good idea?
Yes, I think it is a good idea because as a girl or as a young woman, I need to go into those fields in order to make a change, because I believe that we need, as women, to make a change in those fields. And also, as we're heading into the digital future, we also need a lot of women, a lot of minds into that field.
Yeah, 100%, of course. So now we're in the fourth industrial revolution, right? So do you think personally, do you think robots are good for people? Like, put in mind, like, robots can do like three jobs for three human beings, but it's one robot. So do you think it's actually good for people?
I'll start off by saying, yeah, it does have a lot of disadvantages in terms of employment, because as you just mentioned, there would be like robots doing humans' jobs and everything like that. But I think, yeah, it is essential in order for us as humans to grow, and in order to solve a lot of problems, create solutions, and also when you're looking into the economy, specifically here in South Africa, we do need robots in order to grow our economy and everything like that.
I want to know from you, how do you handle exam pressure?
I guess you just have to take everything one step at a time. You can only give of your best. You can't do anything else than what you're capable of doing. And as long as you prepare well and you take one step at a time, then you can handle whatever is thrown at you, I guess.
Correct. Wonderful. Wonderfully said. You take things one step at a time. So as a girl who is now in STEM, what would you say is one of your choices that you are hoping to get into? And will you be taking advantage of the mentorship that MAHLE is giving?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like it is such a lovely tool to be given. It is such an amazing opportunity to just be given. And yes, I'll definitely be taking it and using it to the best of my abilities.
Wonderfully said, Lola. Thank you so much for having us. What message do you have for all the other students today who were not able to attend, but since you've got some of this wonderful advice from so many of our wonderful academic leaders that are females, what advice and what could you say to all of the students who wanted to be here but could not be here? What message would you like to convey to them?
I guess I would just tell everybody to not be afraid to ask questions or branch out. Because I know I'm quite a shy person, and so oftentimes I'd rather just sit back and be silent instead of asking questions. But I found now asking questions, it's really helped me to develop and be the person that I am today.
Hey friends, welcome to Fly FM, taking youth places. We are all about youth empowerment and we appreciate your support. If you want to help us on our mission, please subscribe, like and share this content. And tune in to Fly FM via our website www.flyfm.co.za.